Beyond the Waves is a Hail Hail Media production. It may contain swear words and adult situations may be discussed. If you're in the company of underage Tims, turn off the show now and listen back later. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, email us at beyondthewaves67@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Twitter at BTW Celtic Show, or check us out on Facebook and join our group at Beyond the Waves. Hail, hail, and keep the faith.
Det var så färger alla skogens hoppas på att grab your back, don't you be late. Det var så höjer and the fist. Det var så höjer from the you miss. Det var en shit to run away, run away, run away. Don't you fucking run away. Go square, go. Go square, go. Go square, go. Go square, go square, go. So you wait for the bell we rang, da la 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 la. Was it for what then? Ba da ba da ba. you're tough, you think you're smart, but they know how to break your heart. They'll chew you up and spit you out, make you start again.
Welcome to the Beyond the Waves Celtic Football Show. My name is Graham Wilson, and today we have a fantastic show on tap for you. Lots of things going on, in spite of the fact that there is no Celtic. Yes, it makes me very sad. There are no Celtic games for the second weekend in a row. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm on the verge of going to the hospital. I'm absolutely just dying. I'm sick, but hopefully I can keep it together long enough to get through today. It's going to be fantastic. First up, joining us as always from Perth Amboy, New Jersey, it is the Rev. Hail, hail, Rev.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Vietnam. I want to check in with you specifically because there are a lot of things going on. Oh yeah, definitely. There are a lot of things going on, and you wrote a fantastic piece this week for the great Seamus Cummins website, www.iceltic.net, talking about one of the pillars of the news that came about for the Celtic community. Of course, that being Magners is the new sponsor for Celtic. They're going to have their logo on the front of the Celtic strip starting next year. It's a 3-year deal, and I think you did a fantastic job of just sort of summing up what our feelings are over here, and especially those who were involved in what happened in Philadelphia. Of course, with Celtic playing against Real Madrid in the friendly at Lincoln Financial Field, and there was some turmoil, and it did involve Magners throughout that. And it does bring up a bit of a conundrum for us who were involved in Philadelphia, and there was a subsequent boycott with it. But just tell us about your article. I mean, tell us a little bit about what caused the boycott, and what was the reaction from the fans to what Magners did. Give us some background on it.
Well, they were supposed to sponsor. I thought they were supposed to sponsor basically the whole weekend, but in the haste of me doing the blog, I didn't go back and edit it a little bit. But I guess it was just they were just sponsoring a breakfast. Was it the morning before, the morning of, or the morning after?
It was the morning of the game. So
Okay.
The Saturday morning, there was a breakfast at Fido,
Right.
the fantastic Fido Irish pub in Philadelphia, and it was just a breakfast. It was
It's supposed to be just a big fry up, and that was pretty much it. That was the extent of their involvement.
It's Tim's eating eggs. That's it. It's
Right.
just a bunch of Celtic supporters eating eggs and bangers and so on. It's very sectarian, I know. But what was the reaction of Mag? I mean, to give you a sense, I mean, I played a little bit of a background role in that in the lead up, because we did have some trouble with with a certain someone. It's David Lehman, who runs the Hun podcast. He's been locked up, basically repeatedly. He made threatening phone calls to Fido, which were very quickly extinguished. But to give some color, he suggested that myself and you were both members of the IRA. We have
I wish I was so lucky.
We easy. We had sort of a Republican message. We're sectarian in nature. He made the same claims about Phil McGillivon, saying that he shouldn't even be in America because he's a member of the IRA, which obviously we know is completely false. And spread this around to Fido, spread this around to many of the other sponsors, and obviously contacted Magners. And Magners, instead of doing the proper research, and it's obvious to anyone that we're not involved in any sort of sectarian belonging. This should have been an open and shut case, but it wasn't. They went ahead and they released a statement. They released 2 statements, as a matter of fact. But on the Magners UK Twitter feed, they said, we never knew that it was going to be this type of an event. And there was a separate statement that they wrote, which said that Magners did not want to be involved in anything that could be deemed sectarian. Essentially labeling us as sectarian in and of ourselves. There were claims at some point. And many folks who think that they're educated on the topic, but really aren't, have claimed that, well, Magners can't be involved in any activity that involves carrying a blue coffin around. That's just not true. The carrying of the coffin was later on in the day. It had absolutely nothing to do with the breakfast. So Magners really dropped the ball, and we've had a boycott ever since. Fortunately, Guinness was quick to step in. I mean, obviously they saw what the situation was, and quite rightly and gallantly stepped in and saved the day for us. But since then, there's been a boycott here of Magners, and Rev, I mean, how, was
first,
that?
Let me say, like, going back to Magners, like, they just did the typical PR. They just dropped and just ran scared. They wanted nothing to do with it without actually going in, and I'm sure they didn't call and do any research of their own to figure out exactly what was going on. They just got freaked out by a bunch of people calling in, and they're the people that started this this David guy, they're just butthurt that we were getting together and doing something, and It offended them, not in a really reason to be offended. It offended them because they got egg on their face because they had no team.
Exactly. And I think they wanted to cause a bit of trouble, stir things up, and that's exactly all. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. But what was the reaction? And from you, what you can recollect, what was the reaction in Philly? When the word got passed around that Magners had done what they had done. I mean, I heard reports after the game, Magners was trying to mop up and handing out things, and people were just like, "That, oh, really? Get that the hell away from me." I mean, people. I
didn't say any of that. Well, like I said, I for people who know, I barely made it to the game and then went right back to the hotel. So if there's anything going on at the pubs or bars or anything, then I missed out on that. But no, everyone was pissed.
What about it? What about it caused so much emotion, though? I mean,
because it's a brand we all know. It's a brand most of us love. That's what we do. Like in the blog I mentioned, especially for these 7 a.m. games, where you have to be up early in the morning for kickoffs. And it's I admitted myself it's too early for a beer, but you still want it. You still want something. So a cider is perfect, and Magners it's available pretty much everywhere, at least everywhere where we'd go to watch a game, and it's fairly cheap.
In my mind, it's the best of breed. I mean, I won't even lie about it. Like I tend to do a lot. It is the best, and I've gone to Strongbow or Angry Orchard, and it is a distant second. But I'm not going to break the boycott of this, considering what they did. They labeled me sectarian, without doing any sort of research. They believed a Hun's word. They caved to the threat of a Hun. And I haven't received any sort of apology, and I'm not expecting to ever get one. But that's beside the point. Let's make it clear: we're not calling for everyone to boycott Magners. Magners did a great thing. They stepped up. They sponsored Celtic, and it seems as though it's an increase in the sponsorship value. So that I appreciate that more than I can express. I'm delighted that's happened, and I'm not calling for anyone else to join me in boycotting them. I wouldn't expect that, and but for me, them going and sponsoring the Celtic Top does not make amends. It does not make full amends to me personally. It's a personal decision. And anybody wants that wants to have a go at me or to call me out as being anti-Celtic needs to have their head examined. Full stop. I order my kits. For me personally, again, this is for me personally, without a logo. That's my preference anyway, and I will continue to do so. And I will continue to do so, whether it's Magners or JVC or Hitachi or whoever. So whatever your perception is of my feeling on this, or Rev's feeling, or the Philadelphia Celtic Supporters Club, who I have a full backing of. Considering the hard work that they went through, and especially Seamus Cummins, all of the hard work that he did. I mean, he was really the cornerstone that made that weekend happen. And it's a slap in the face for the work that Molly and the folks at Fido did to try and line up sponsors, and then to have a bunch of just miscreant Huns come in, make just empty threats, and have Magners just bow to that. And then turn around and not just that, not just bow, not just back out, but call us sectarian. I mean, please, It's beyond pathetic. It's not a good business decision. It's a horrible business decision. If I'm a PR executive, I'm doing everything I can to mop that up in retrospect.
It's really lose-lose, that whole situation that they put themselves in, because if they, went along with it, they would have had the blue people, never have Magners again. But since, if they would have pulled out, which they did, they would have had our side pissed off too. Because do you really think that many Sevconians drink Magners?
Of course not. Of course not. They're just, they accomplished what they set out to do through some cowardice in Magners marketing. Where if they would have taken the time to do even the slightest bit of research, it was easy to say. Listen to me speak. Do I sound like an IRA member? Do I sound like a Provo? I mean, please. So anyway, I will continue my boycott until I am. Well, let me ask you, Rev. I want an apology. I want an explanation. I want them to leave hickeys on my ass. What would it take for you to break the boycott? Well, first, I mean, are you going to continue to boycott Magners? For me, I've made it clear I'm going to continue. Are you going to break the boycott? Are you going to partake in their beverage?
I've kind of eased up a little, in the sense of just I'm not going to be anti-Magners. I found other ciders that I like, actually, and like Angry Orchard, Original Sin. So I'm going to continue going that way. I'm not going to be so totalitarian regarding Magners, in my fridge.
You're not going to be the Mao of Magners.
Yeah, the Magners Mao.
So you could see a situation where, I mean, essentially you're going to break the boycott. You're. I
mean, I see a situation down the road where at some point I'm sure it'll come up, it'll be available, it'll be there, and I'm going to need a drink.
Okay.
I'm not going to be.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not going to run out and buy it. I mean, there's, for example, the place where I go watch Red Bulls games, that's the only cider they carry. They carry Magners and Woodchuck, and I hate Woodchuck.
Yeah, Woodchuck sucks.
Yeah, it's crap. Now, if I go somewhere and they have something else, I would go with whatever else they have. Or, and that's all, not saying like every time I go to a Red Bulls game, I'm going to get a Magners. No, I usually get another drink. But if there's one time where I want a cider and that's all they have, I might think about it a little bit. Like I don't go with Strongbow. I was against that for the longest time, and I only had it for the one can for the first time this past summer.
Did you feel dirty?
I did. Not so much during, but after, when I sobered up and thought about it, because I think I even threw it up on Twitter. I'm like, if anyone over there is still awake, what's up with this? And a couple people were like, no, that's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. And then the next morning, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that.
Well, I'm sure you've
been. But you're fine with the Strongbow?
I'm sure you've been with worse. I drank Strongbow for a little while. To be honest with you, I'm tired of. I'm sick of the whole cider. You can't drink this cider. You can't drink that cider. For me personally, I feel personally wronged by the actions that Magners took. And I'll reiterate, I'm going to continue the boycott, and I'm not advocating for anyone else to join me in this. No one else was personally affected in this, and it's a personal decision for anybody. And I'm delighted that they've decided to give the club money. I can't be happier. That's fantastic. But I'm not going to forget what they did to myself and all of the work that Seamus and the folks at Fido and the Philadelphia CSC went through. Forget it. I have options, and I'm going to exercise them. That's just my take on it.
Right. And I put that in at the end of the blog just as, not really fill it, but just to put another point in there. But I really didn't think that I would have to exercise that clause where I didn't think it would be a problem for some people that other people felt this way.
Fantastic.
I figured everyone was pretty tolerant of each other's views, and, It's not something outlandish. It's not asking for a lot. It's just saying, hey, if this guy wants to not drink it, let him not drink it. It doesn't bother you. If this guy wants to be there with the new kit with the logo and, double fisting Magners, you know what? That doesn't affect you either. So, I don't know. With me, if I've always gotten the jerseys with the sponsors on them. Maybe rethinking that next year.
Yeah, I don't like any of the sponsors on them. I just think it looks a lot better without it. But I will continue to do so. And the advent of Magners, certainly doesn't do anything to help me want to have a sponsor on there. It's a personal decision, but I felt it important to explain exactly what happened in Philadelphia because there is some misconception about it, and there's a lot of people who are who are angry at me, feeling like they need to defend Celtic because I don't like Magners. I'm sorry, but I don't see how Magners has anything to do with Celtic other than paying them to have their logo on their strip. That's it.
Right. I don't consider Magners part of the Celtic family.
No. You know what? I don't drive an Audi, and I never would. So does that make me, hunnish? Does somebody need to defend Celtic and force me into buying an Audi or discouraging somebody from buying an Audi? No, absolutely. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And I've never called for a widespread boycott of it. It was always just an explanation of where I am. If you have a problem with me bad-mouthing Magners, then, educate yourself first. And, enjoy the Magners yourself. Go ahead. God bless you. Whatever. I just, whatever. Twitter's become a shit show. But anyway, listen, Rev, what's been the reaction to your article on iCeltic.net? Obviously, it is a bit of a divisive issue. Have you gotten some of the blowback? Has the feedback been relatively positive from it?
Yeah, everything's been pretty positive. Any comments were just,
people like, hey, holy shit, Rev wrote an article.
Just people saying, interesting stuff, good insight. A lot of people didn't even know, or they forgot about it, or they didn't know the whole story, or most of the story. So it was, a bit of an eye-opener. I definitely didn't get anything, vague like, how dare you, or, anything negative. It just got
that from me.
Retweeted a bunch of times. Yeah, you seem to attract, a lot of, you're a magnet.
Yeah, it's kind of like my dating life. Well, good stuff, Rev. Hopefully it's not going to be the last of your writing, because I like your particular style of writing. And I want to see more of it. So please keep it up. And don't be afraid to tackle these sort of challenging issues, the fractured issues, divisive issues, because I think that it's very useful to get some dialogue going. Of course, when it's civil and positive, and you have a good way of tackling it. Everybody, check out iCeltic.net. It's right there on the front page. It's called I think quite cleverly Cider, and written by our very own Rev, and it's fantastic. So, Rev, thanks so much for joining us today. I know you have a lot to get to today. Domestic life, how's domestic life treating you? You're looking for a place for yourself and Amy?
Yes, we're looking for a place for the proper wedding ceremony.
Ah, lovely. I'm telling you, you are going to love being married. You're gonna.
We went to a place the other day and pretty much picked it, but this was just a formality, just to check another place out.
Good stuff.
I got that in my future, yeah.
And enjoy that, and enjoy the cake tasting, and flower picking.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, you're going to love being married, living with the woman you love every day. Oh.
Yay.
No, in all seriousness, congratulations. It's fantastic. And thanks for joining us. I know you were on a tight schedule, and sorry for the tech issues on the front end, but we'll let you run, Rev, and we'll catch up with you next week when Celtic returns, hopefully, and we'll get back at it. All right, pal?
Yep. I will see you after the next game.
Thanks, man.
Later.
See ya. All right, so that's the Rev joining us there, giving us a synopsis of his article, like I said, entitled Cy Dare. It's on the front page of iCeltic.net. iCeltic.net, a fantastic resource website put together by the great Seamus Cummins. I call him the Elvis of Donegal. He sings like a bird, and it's just always brilliant crack. Anybody who's met him knows, what a fantastic guy. He is so instrumental in a lot of the events behind that great weekend we had when Celtic played Real Madrid in Philadelphia, as well as the Philadelphia Celtic Supporters Club. Mike Roman, who's joined us when we were up there, president of the Philadelphia CSC, located at Fido Irish Pub at 15th and Locust in Center City, Philadelphia. Please check it out. And I've said my piece, so that's it. So listen, we're going to play a quick song, and this is going to be a bit of an intro into our next guest. I'm going to line up getting him on here. It's the great Rocky Bats. Now, many of you may be familiar with him, obviously, on Twitter at Rocky Bats, and then he's had the YouTube channels, with the poetry and all of that. We're going to check in with him, get a little background into how he found Celtic and what exactly is a Catholic KO. I'm fascinated by this. Being a scrawny, skinny kid that, I'm not a threat to anything except for breakfast, apparently. But I want to check in with him, see what he's up to. He's got a music career that is fantastic. Working on a book and just fascinating stories behind it. So we're going to check in with him. This is Rocky Bats with Dude in the Gallagate. It's Rocky Bats' way. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Rocky Bats.
Oh, give me a home where there's no royal throne, where there's nothing but Celtic state, where seldom is seen the face of the Queen, and the flute bands play Rocky Bats' way. No royal throne, no wankers in orange parades, no Huns and no Queen, no sash to be seen, and the flute bands play Rocky Bats' way. No Hun Union Jacks, no loyalists on crack, and here is a place we call home. On Easter we're seen to remember 16, and we say let's have no royal throne. No royal throne, no wankers in orange parades, no Huns and no Queen, no sash to be seen, and the flute bands play Rocky Bats' way. No royal throne, no wankers in orange parades, no Huns and no Queen, no sash to be seen, and the flute bands play Rocky Bats' way. And the flute bands play Rocky Bats' way.
You're listening to Beyond the Waves Celtic Football Show. My name is Graham Wilson. We have just a treat for you today. Joining us now from parts unknown, the great Rocky Bats. Rocky, hail, como esta? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, pleasure to be here, Graham. Hello to all your listeners.
Fantastic stuff. Now we know you're always traveling and you're an international conglomerate. So we're always just real appreciative of your time. So we just want to get a sense for who Rocky Bats is. Get a sense for what makes you tick and why you've gravitated towards Celtic. I mean, how did you come to find Celtic? It was through some friends in New Zealand, right? Who were stationed over in Hong Kong. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was in Hong Kong. I think it was 2001. And I was working with a few companies. Most of them are it's based in New Zealand, so they're New Zealanders, but their ancestors, fathers and grandfathers are from Scotland, and they're Scot-Irish Catholics. So when I had that, I was in a fucking bar called the Lane. Can I curse? I curse, right?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was in a bar called Delaney's Irish Pub in Wan Chai, and we were celebrating. Basically, the job was done. It was, like the thank you very much kind of fucking night that you go out, and there was a match on. I think it was Rangers. I don't think it was the Old Firm.
Okay.
But these guys are fucking singing, and the whole crew is getting upset. And these guys ain't like fighters. These people are businessmen.
Right.
Some of them were older people. They're like, let's just leave. I'm like, I didn't really know what the problem was. They were saying fuck this and fuck that. But the song they were singing was No Royal Throne. Mm-hmm. So then when I heard some of the words, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just ask this fucking guy to chill the fuck out. So I was real nice, and I asked the guy if, he would chill the fuck out. And he went to shove me. So I grabbed his hand and pulled him into my face with a headbutt, and I broke his nose. And then, I don't want to go through the whole fucking 9 knockouts, but from there, the next day, they started explaining to me about Irish politics and how that whole thing was about football clubs. So right then and there, I was a Celtic fan. But it grew through traveling and through seeing, how these people fucking operate around the world. That's how it began for me, I guess.
So it was essentially, you're there with your friends from New Zealand, and they obviously have sort of an antagonistic relationship there with these people who are singing songs, and they're singing anti-Catholic songs, singing anti-Irish songs, and that really as you learn more about it, that was really what sort of drew you in. You saw that that's fucked up. You can't have that, and plus the manner of their side of the fence, so to speak, versus the Celtic side, where Celtic supporters generally have a reputation of being just nice people, want to have a nice time, treat everybody with respect, whereas on their side, it's all about offending people and racism or sectarianism, and then just start trying to start fights. But you find yourself in a position where you're not going to put up with that. You're not going to walk away. You're going to. I mean, if somebody wants to get in your face, you're going to deal with them.
Fucking A. And the strange thing was that there's bad people on both sides of the divide, in every walk of life. But these people were actually soldiers. The two of them that I knocked out the first time I ever heard Bobby Sands or Fuck the Pope, before I ever knew that Christians were supposed to hate other Christians. I had no fucking idea. These people are soldiers. You know what I mean? They're supposed to have fucking discipline and be better. Never mind that they were complete fucking pussies and surrendered like they claim they never do. These weren't teenagers, that you expect that from. These were grown fucking men, and I was a complete fucking gentleman about it. And in every other instance where I had to, throw hands with these fucking people, yet, Graham, traveling around the fucking world, I see lots of Celtic people, lots of fucking groups whack the fuck out on alcohol, coming into my bar, never ever start trouble, never give a fucking cockeyed look to nobody or say something foul to one of the ladies working there. So it's stark differences in the fucking support between the two teams. Exactly,
and like you say, a soldier should know better. They should have some respect, especially like you mentioned with ladies. And that's really the difference. You mentioned Bobby Sands. I mean, did you know anything about Irish history prior to all this? And did it sort of give you an urge to learn more about it, to do some research about Irish history and how these people sort of line up with the Irish Catholic diaspora, if you will?
Absolutely. I had no clue, nothing. When I tell you, I didn't even know English and Irish had a fucking problem. I thought they come from the same part of the world. They must get along or whatever. But I was shocked to learn about that, and reading and doing the fucking research about it, you see that it's taught almost basically. Like I always would talk about in my videos about the British Bill of Rights, how Catholics are specifically excluded from inheriting the throne, and not that anyone would want their fucking throne, but we're not allowed to, and if they marry one, they can't ascend to the throne too. So it's basically, if anybody is wondering where the fuck it comes from, when you have it institutionalized on that level, in the government, then it's going to filter right down to soldiers in uniform, teachers, civil service, like the fucking cops that break the Green Brigade's fucking balls.
Yeah.
Right down to the scumbags right now, the PSNI, that the short strand nationalists are under attack, and they're one and the same. I'm sure that the loyalists that are rioting right now, there's probably 3 or 4 of them that'll go home tomorrow and they'll be in their PSNI fucking uniform.
Yeah.
You know, it's institutionalized over there.
Exactly. And it filters down to everybody and it's accepted. You know, that's the thing. And it's so foreign. You know, I'm sure you can, I mean, I think we both feel the same way growing up, you know, in the general area we grew up in, you know, where my mother's side of the family is Catholic and, you know, you're Catholic and, you know, in the Northeast of the United States, you know, you're surrounded by Catholics, Jews, you know, whoever, and we don't deal with this Catholic versus Protestant sort of, you know, like friction. It's so foreign for us. I know exactly what you're saying, where when I first got into Celtic, it was like, oh, well, you know, what is this all about? I mean, my dad's side of the family is Irish, but, you know, I personally, I sort of gravitated more to my mother's side of the family. That's a whole long story. I mean, I think that, you know, the Italian-American sort of culture is more nurturing to children, so that therefore, I think it's more of a natural to gravitate that way, whereas, you know, at least in my experience, the Irish-American side wasn't as, I mean, it was a lot harder. But with that being said, I mean, specifically in America, you know, it's kind of a unique situation, you know, where you and I, who have Sicilian roots, and you know, prior to learn about this and supporting Celtic, I didn't know much at all about Irish history or you know, these issues that we're talking about. And you've taken up the Irish cause against Britain, you know, with like the passion of a man who came from the Craigan and Derry, not, you know, an Italian American from Brooklyn. You know, the Irish and Italian immigrants in America, you know, specifically New York, Boston, Philly, you know, for whatever reason, sociological reasons, they haven't always had the best of relationships with each other. Does it strike you kind of funny how you've taken up the Irish nationalist cause? I mean, maybe like 10, 15 years ago, did you ever think, you know, you'd be this passionate about such a cause?
Oh, you know, it is definitely funny. My brother Paul, he's married to an Irish girl whose father's big into the Irish history. Man, he's a big fan of mine. He follows me on Twitter and was a YouTube guy. And they always comment about how, you know, guy from Little Sicily, Brooklyn, is so interested and so passionate about it. You know, I think for you and me, and I presume you're mid-30s too, that's like Capone fucking era. I mean, I never really heard of Italians and Irish not getting along in my generation. By my generation, they had already intermarried everywhere. You know, half of my friends are Italian Irish, so excuse me, that doesn't really, for me, it does ring to, but my brother Paulie's father-in-law, for him, he's an older guy, and it really is a little bit funny. I think it's because I hate fucking bullies. I got to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You know, my whole life, I'm not a very big guy, but I like to think I knock people the fuck out. But I always defend the fucking bully. I will never hit a guy that doesn't want it. You know, even with a couple of times where I almost had beef with like English people or whatever, British people, and I could tell that they were chomping out. I didn't hit nobody. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. You know, like what's his name? What the fuck? Soloso said in The Godfather. He's a businessman, and blood is a big expense for me too. You know, I don't need cops looking for me or people looking to get even. But in a lot of the instances, like the last time I hit somebody in Bangkok in fucking May, the guy smacked a woman in the face. Now, I don't care where you come from, what kind of fucking piece of shit you are. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's disgraciado.
Right, yeah. You don't hit a woman.
No, absolutely. That's completely unacceptable. You know, but and I get the sense, you know, you if somebody needs to be straightened out, you're going to straighten them out, you know, but it's to sort of defend, you know, maybe this is a little out there, but to defend, you know, just the societal justice, you know, if something ain't right, you know, and somebody, you know, is kind of whacked out or whatever, and they need straightening out, that's when you step up. But you're not looking for a fight. You're not going to start anything, but you're going to finish one. You know, as your record states. You talk about, you know, your record is 10-0 by Catholic KO. Is that right?
No, 9-0.
9-0. All right. So tell what is a Catholic KO? What does that look like? I mean, you describe it a little bit. You know, with somebody comes into a bar and is getting fresh with a lady or you know, somebody that you know, you ask please, you know, nicely to you know, get themselves under control, and then they want to get physical with you. What is a Catholic KO?
A Catholic KO is basically when somebody steps out of line and they show that they're a fucking bigot. You ask them nicely one time if they would adjust their ways. They don't. And you break something on their face, like their nose, their fucking jaw, their front orbital bone. The last definite Hun, like this last guy was a British guy and he was arrogant and all of that, but I don't really know what football team he liked. There wasn't about soccer. The other guy, number 8 in my bar, he wrote FTP on the on the board where you put your name next to play pool.
Yeah.
And I didn't hit it right away. I went over. I said, "Give me the fucking this jerk off's bill. This British douchebag's bill. He's leaving." He comes running over and throws a fucking jab shot at me. When I tell you, dude, I broke this guy's front orbital bone, his jaw bone, knocked the tooth out of his fucking mouth. He was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I fucked this guy up, but I didn't go over and hit him or sucker punch him. Out of all of the fights I had with these people, I think it was 4 times they tried to throw a sucker punch at me. And every single one of them was even bigger than me. But can I go back to the last question? I just want to tell you.
Hey, go ahead.
My brother's father-in-law was around for the holidays, and he mentioned to my mother about, Rock fighting with British people. My mother had no idea. I don't talk about that with my mother. So she wasn't too happy. She's not a big fan of the violent thing. But when we started in I guess it was the 80s with the hunger strikers, it was widely reported on the news, and one woman at her church was an Irish woman, and she had given money to some charity over there because she said it broke her heart for the mothers, for all their mothers.
Wow. Yeah, and I do remember, my sort of recollection of the 80s, with the hunger strikers and when the troubles were going on with my Irish relatives, you hear them singing, the rebel songs and things like that, and talking about the Crown and Britain, but they don't teach you that in schools over here. You don't learn anything about it, so it's just sort of like a foreign thing. But you're right, in a sense. Where that is so old school, the friction between the Irish and the Italians here, and there is so much. I'm a product of that, But you remember, like my grandfathers on either side, they'd have one comment or another about the Irish or about the Italians rather, and that really has gone away. But that's I think that really compounds the sort of the disbelief that we could have, growing up where we did, and then seeing all this happening. It's like, how is that even possible? It's but what you're talking about, it's not that you're taking up violence as a first resort. It's very much a last resort. But you described yourself. You're not a really big guy, but you can handle yourself. Obviously, what do these people think? What's the look on their face? What's the reaction? Do they underestimate you? When you ask them nicely to get themselves under control. Do they sort of? What's their reaction? When the confrontation starts.
Usually they want it because again, I'm not small, so typical bully mentality. Usually there's alcohol involved, so they think that I will be an easy fight. And then when I fucking bust them up, they're shocked, totally shocked. And usually, when you hit somebody in a fucking bar, it's usually there's a few barflies there that hang out in there, and I always go back. I don't, I go to fucking celebrate my knockouts. And people remember you, and those are the people like, man, you study boxing or whatever, you're not too... Whatever, like, nah, I grew up in a fucking neighborhood where if you were going to pop shit, you better know how to throw your fucking hands. Otherwise, keep your fucking mouth shut and respect everybody that comes through the door.
That's right. That's right. Let's talk a little bit about, you grew up in Brooklyn, right? Now, did you follow soccer at all? We call it soccer over here. Were you a soccer fan growing up? Did any of your relatives... they follow soccer at all? What was your perception of the sport? Because a lot of times it's perceived as sort of like a weakling sport. Like it's a lot of baseball, football. What we call football. What was your vibe or perception of soccer growing up?
I grew up in a neighborhood, Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, where it was a lot of people were first generation Italian American. So I was aware of it. My father was a huge Calcio Catania fan, so back then there was no internet coverage or any of that shit. But I was aware of it when the Italians won. I forgot, I was a little kid, but that was exciting. But I really wasn't a soccer fan. I'm a big baseball fan, and I knew nothing really about soccer until the night in Hong Kong with the British soldiers, to be honest with you.
And then from there, you learn a little bit about the history of the club, and then you sort of pick things up as you go, about the game and how it's played and certain styles and things like that. At least that's kind of how it sort of grew on me. In terms of growing the club, Celtic in America, and especially in the Northeast where there seems to be a cultural, I think it's a very fertile place, in terms of culturally. What about the club do you think would resonate with Americans? What would be the appeal, sort of culturally? I mean, it seems like it'd be hand in glove, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that for our generation of like urban Americans, progressive people, I think the allure would be the history of the club. Stated truthfully, the big tent inclusion of all religions from the beginning. You don't even need to put them next to the Rangers to look good in that regard. They look good because of their own record. Never mind exactly. When you compare the records of both teams. So I think that for people my age and under, and your age and under, that would totally be the appeal. And let's face it, a lot of Irish people in this country, and Celtic has, I know they're a UK team or whatever in Scotland, but you can't deny that they have Irish roots.
Well, exactly. I mean, we talk about it all the time with Notre Dame. There's so many Americans who, they might be or might not even be Irish, but they associate with Notre Dame. Might not ever even been to South Bend, Indiana, but because it's the Fighting Irish, they're a Notre Dame fan. That just resonates, and I think there's a similar opportunity with Celtic over here. We're rumored to be in for a couple of American players here soon. I think that would really help out a lot. Getting some of the Americans a little bit more exposure, getting on television. And I think it could be explosive. And the beauty part of it is, like you said, it's a welcoming, all-inclusive culture that is welcoming of everybody. We're not looking to start trouble. It's a great time. I mean, every time I introduce somebody that's never been to a game or around Celtic supporters en masse. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier with the Rev about when Celtic came to Philly and played against Real Madrid. I mean, there's thousands of Celtic supporters all over the place, and my wife's looking around, and everybody's just so nice, and nobody's looking to start trouble or anything like that. And that's the beauty part of it. It's got the identity, and it's just a special thing to be a part of as well. Now, Rocky, you spent a lot of time in Thailand, right? What's taken you there, and what's captivated you so much by that country and by its people?
I was there the first time working. I was working on the Miss Universe thing in 2005, and I fell in love with the sights and the sounds and the people. They just it's just they call it the land of smiles, because everybody is smiling and just genuinely friendly, and they have a little bit. I'm pretty much an outdoors guy, so I like, I'll do a little rock climbing, I'll do a little hiking.
Nice.
I love to go to the beach, love swimming. They have all of that. It's like a miniature United States, but their beaches are even better down south.
Yeah.
The food, and then as I sent you that letter from my organization, more than anything, that, almost dying and being helped by these people, I really just absolutely fell in love with the country and the people in it.
Well, tell us about what happened there. I mean, if you can. I mean, how that all drew about, and how you came to form your philanthropic organization. Tell us about what happened, and what clicked for you in that experience.
It was April 2008, and I went up north. I wanted to go by the mountains and just like off the beaten path, not just Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai and all of that stuff, because I had seen it a lot before. So I rented a motorcycle, and I was way out along the border with Burma. I think Tak province is where I was. And I had no idea about refugees, again, totally, ignorant to the political situation. They had just taken in the scenery and the view and everything. And I crashed. My girlfriend said that I swerved to avoid something, and I went off an embankment. I hit the embankment, like the crash wall, so you don't go over, but it flung me over the bike. I never drove a motorcycle before, and my helmet cracked. I was fucked up, bro. I was in a minimally conscious state for 3 days. Anyway, my girlfriend walks all the way back the other way to try to get to a road where, she could find help. But before she got back, 2 refugees found me, and they pulled me out of the ditch. And I wear expensive watches, and I wear expensive finger rings, and even when I'm way out over there, and they didn't take nothing. I had all this fucking money on me. They simply brought me to the fucking hospital, and I was so impressed. If that would have happened in Brooklyn, I got a 50-50 shot at anybody helping me. They'd probably just take my watch, take my phone, take this, and fucking leave me there, Here, these people, and they're Burmese refugees, so I learned a lot about what goes on over there since then, even though it's getting better now. Yeah. But these people who have seen the worst of humanity and have the worst circumstances in life showed me all the compassion that my mother or my sister would have, lying there on that fucking road. And I think I could have died that day if it wasn't for them. So I'm gradually healing along, and then that Cyclone Nargis struck.
Yeah.
And I never saw anything like it. I mean, you could see the blue tents and how people... from miles and miles in every fucking direction. It was fucking craziness. They would, tens of thousands of people trying to cross the border, and they said that they were shelling them. The Burmese government was shelling them. Children were crying, mothers were crying. It was just, it was a moment of my epiphany. I said, I'm going to dedicate my talent, my time to help these people, to reveal to the world what goes on, what brutal circumstances these people live under. Because of that. And I started the organization with a couple of my business pals here and friends, and it's been doing, very well. I get a lot of satisfaction, and most of it is to be honest with you, just directed donations from me and the other guys that sit on the board. But we collect like eyeglasses. That's what we're trying to get now. Collect eyeglasses, even if it doesn't have the frames, an old shitty pair of sunglasses to bring to them. And they fix them up. We work with a place called the TBBC, the Thai-Burma Border Consortium, and that's the Thai or UN agency that regulates all of the charities that do work along the border. So really, it's a great charity, and I'm proud to do it, and it gives me such a good feeling to do it, to help those people.
That's fantastic. I mean, here you are. You're essentially left for dead. You're on the side of the road. You're mangled. You're just banged up. And these people who didn't know you from Adam 12, they pick you up and they take care of you like you're one of their own. And they care for you. And they have so little themselves. And you have this epiphany. Where you want to give back. You want to help them. Almost in the same way that you were helped. That's absolutely phenomenal. What's you mentioned? You're making an effort now to get eyeglasses and just rounding up resources. I mean, what sort of activities do you try and do with that? Do you have like an email sort of chain that you send out notices to? Is it mostly online or do you just sort of use your network of contacts and how do you grow that? What's involved in that?
Right now, the best medium that we find to promote is I own a couple of businesses that are related to the entertainment industry. So when there's a function, there's a lot of people there, and we have flyers that go out to them, email chains and stuff like that through a couple of labor unions that we have something to do with it. We promoted it, that type of way. Plus, I do, whenever I can on Twitter, I'll send out, what we're doing and if anybody's interested. And a couple of followers have already responded in kind and said that they were going to send some glasses for us. So I do whatever I can, and you know what? This is very, very helpful. So let me just thank you for allowing me to come on the show and talk about, this organization, because like I said, it's the purest thing in my life, and I'm extremely proud of it.
I can't be more delighted to have you, join us today. And this is what Celtic is about. It's not just getting together, having a few drinks and a few laughs and having a good time. It's also about looking after those that are less fortunate. And what you're doing is such a fantastic effort. And I'm honored to do whatever I can to help out with it. We'll talk offline because I got a couple ideas just going through my head right now, and I want to get involved myself. And for folks who maybe are tuning in and that they don't follow you on Twitter, your Twitter is @RockyBats. Is that
That's it. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. So if you're listening in, you want to follow Rocky and get some more information about this sort of thing and what he's involved with that. Definitely make sure you're following him on Twitter. And it's just a fantastic effort. I mean, really, just embodying what it means to be, the living the Celtic way and being a Celtic supporter, through and through. So it's fantastic stuff, pal. I'm really proud to do whatever I can to help. But let's switch gears a little bit here. Now, you gained wide acclaim a few years ago, and even more recently from some YouTube videos that you put together with some beautiful poetry. We'll just say dedicated to the Huns. We'll call them nothing else. But did you catch a lot of did you catch a lot of shit because of that? I mean, because I know that some of the videos would go up and then they come down. And do you have any plans to do more of that? Going in the future.
Definitely, I do. The next thing that I want to do, coordinating with a Tim musician from Glasgow, doing the Gallagate, the guy who sings "Rocky Bats Way," the song that you were playing when you introduced me.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it with him. He's going to make the beats. I got some great ideas for it. I just need to get my, I got a lot of other things going on, obviously, but that's next, the Celtic rap. But yeah, I took a lot of flack from keyboard gangsters over there. I mean, a couple of jerk-offs with fucking balaclavas and M16s behind them. Yeah. One threat I used to get all the time was they would threaten to blow up my cafe in Cardiff, Wales. Now, I've been just about everywhere, but I never been to Cardiff, Wales. But I mean, literally right up until when I put the video up of me calling the Loudon pub back in June.
Yeah.
Some jerk off sent me a fucking message saying that they were now definitely gonna blow up my fucking cafe in Cardiff, Wales. So yeah, I did get a lot of shit from them. First, YouTube would constantly take me down for whatever reason, using music that wasn't mine or saying I was a bigot. And then in the end, I just got frustrated. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to interfere with the organization. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put shit back on. You asked me in the outline, excuse me, if I would be willing to say a couple of lines out of one of my old poems, and I would be fucking delighted to.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's hear some new stuff.
All right. Hickory dickory rock, the Hun ran up the clock. The rock Ted won, the Hun knocked out Hickory dickory rock. Pulpery bats. 9 Huns caught some of my slaps. The man in green says, fuck their queen, pulpery bats. And I always got to say, enjoy it, or I wrap you in the mouth with a fucking St. Anthony medal. I knew some wise guy when I was growing up who was in the neighborhood, and he used to say to everybody, I wrap you in the fucking mouth with a cannoli.
That's a waste of cannoli, my friend. I mean, unless the cannoli's 3 days old, mouchad or whatever. But
Yeah, right. He probably meant the mouchad cannoli.
Nothing more sad than a mouchad cannoli. Well, fantastic. Listen, Rock, stay if we can. If you have a few more minutes, what I want to do is just play another one of your songs. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. I love this song. I'd like to play it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about your music and also the book that you're putting together. Is that all right?
Awesome. Sounds awesome.
Fantastic. Stay with us. You're listening to Beyond the Waves Celtic Football Show. We're talking to Rocky Bats. This is fantastic. I've been looking forward to this a long time. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Life in Brooklyn is kinda laid back. Ain't much an old Guido like me can hack. Espresso in the morning and spaghetti at night. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. I walk through the feast with my blessed mother chop. Take a shot of anisette, then some chicken parmesan. People call them moolies, but they're really melons. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Well, I got me a gold chain and an Uncle Tony. Fuck Papa John's and cheese and macaroni. Biscotti ain't nothing but a yummy, yummy cookie. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. When my friends come to town and my cousin named Joe, pull out the pasta and some Pinot Grigio. The Bronx ain't shit but a second-class parole. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. I'd play bocce ball all day if I could, but my capo and my family wouldn't take it very good. So I bocce when I can, pay tribute when I should. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Well, I got me a gold chain and an Uncle Tony. Fuck Papa John's with cheese and macaroni. Biscotti ain't nothing but a yummy, yummy cookie. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Forget about it. I wouldn't trade my life for where I was born, where working is for fools and mobsters are the norm. I'd rather have my pistol and my gambling form. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Yeah, country folk driving in a black pickup truck. A lot of mad weirdos thinking that's a gotta suck. Cousine, let me tell you exactly what I mean. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Well, I got me a gold chain and an Uncle Tony. Fuck Papa John's and cheese and macaroni. Biscotti ain't nothing but a yummy, yummy cookie. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Fucking A, you know what I'm talking about over here? I took bets for my dad till the day he was tried, and he only went to jail cause some rat fuck lied. He said live a rich life and he can only with pride, and thank God you're from Brooklyn, boy. My daddy taught me young how to bet and play a teaser. He taught me Papa John's has some shitty fucking pizza. Told me Pavarotti is the best in street tennis. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Well, I got me a gold chain and an Uncle Tony. Fuck Papa John's and cheese and macaroni. Biscotti ain't nothing but a yummy, yummy cookie. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn boy. Forget about it.
All right, welcome back to Beyond the Wave Celtic Football Show. My name is Graham Wilson. We're joined today. What a treat! What an honor, and we're having a lot of fun. Joined by Rocky Batts, the great Rocky Batts, burgeoning music career, doing a lot of philanthropic work as well, worldwide conglomerate. You can find them on Twitter at Rocky Batts. Rocky, thank you so much again for joining us.
Pleasure. My pleasure to be here.
I absolutely love the song we just played there. Thank I'm a Brooklyn boy. There's so much that I can identify with. Tell us about your passion for music. I mean, does it stem from the poetry that you've done in the past? I mean, it seems like you have just a general a gift for it.
I grew up around music. My father always played the piano around the house, and he owns a record publishing company that was involved with some great doo-wop singers. I don't know if you know the late Johnny Maestro on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Sure.
Yeah, he sung at my parents' wedding, and Jimmy Soul, Never Make a Pretty Woman Your Wife. My father owns the rights to a couple of doo-wop hits and stuff. So I kind of get the love of it from him, and I like to entertain. I like to make my friends laugh and all of this stuff. I take my business very seriously and defending the faith of my parents, because my mother's more Catholic than Mother Cabrini. I might not be the most devout guy in the world. I'm a believer and I'm Catholic, but I'm not so devout. My parents are, so these people have to fucking behave. But yeah, I get the love of music and entertainment from my father for sure.
Yeah. Now, what's been the response? I mean, obviously, you got a huge response on the message boards on Twitter. When you had the YouTube channel up with the poetry and now with the music. I mean, what are people telling you? What are people saying?
The response to the Rebel song that you played at the beginning, Rocky Batts Way, is phenomenal. It's fucking blowing my mind how many sales there are at iTunes for that song. And the Christmas parody, Gino the Marbuck Guido, did really, really well. I imagine that'll slow up now because it's past the holiday. But the Rocky Batts Way song is really, really fucking booming. I mean, they're all doing pretty well, so I'm kind of surprised. But most people tell me what you told me. It's fucking hysterical. Give me more, write more, and that's what we're gonna do.
No question. I mean, you have a charismatic spark about you, and the creativity too. You connect with people, and that's a beautiful recipe. For entertainment and doing what you're doing. It's fantastic to see. And like you say, I mean, so many people get so much enjoyment out of it. And it's very authentic. But now you talked about your inspiration with your dad and his work and he played the piano. What about you? What sort of music do you like? What sort of music do you listen to? I mean, have you? I mean, I'm guessing you weren't familiar with the Irish Rebel music prior to getting involved with Celtic and sort of this dynamic here. Do you listen to any of the Irish Rebel tunes and what are some of your favorites there?
Now all the time. I love the fucking Go On Home British Soldiers Going On. That will always be my fucking favorite because it's so in their fucking face.
Yes.
You know, it's just simple logic. Get the fuck out. There's the agreement. There's the fucking door. Go home. Stop being scumbags. But so many people, so many of my Tim friends send me, oh, you got to check this out. So I really love them all. I didn't even know Irish rebel music existed until those douchebags conscripted me. But I grew up on fucking hip hop. You know, my favorite artist is Tupac Shakur, but I listen to so many different kinds of music. Frank Sinatra's another huge inspiration in my life. You know, I love the Motown sound, so I'm kind of versatile, but hip hop is the one desert island kind of genre, I guess, that I have to go with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up, you know, like you said, I mean, we're both on our sort of mid 30s rather. And that was such a formative time for hip hop, you know, in terms of like the message that was being sent. I mean, you know, you had groups like, you know, coming off with like NWA, where, you know, it wasn't all about the hook anymore. There was a message in there, and you know, it was describing the experience, you know, that people were going through at the time. Like you said, Tupac, I mean, one of the great musicians, artists of our time, and you know, that there is a connection between that and Irish, you know, the rebel music. You know, I mean, essentially, hip hop is nothing more than folk music that comes from, you know, the urban areas, from the hood. And it's the same thing with you know, the rebel music. I mean, it's telling the tale. It's describing the experience through music. You know, and that's what I cling to, and that's where I sort of push back when people say, you know, the Irish rebel music, it's past tense, it has no place today, and you know, in and around the football team and everything else. You know, I'm sorry, but I have a connection, I have an experience with that. You know, I've a passion for that. You know, and I think, you know, it's a way of using art to express your frustration or your happiness or whatever the case is.
That is such a clever analogy. I never heard that before, but I guess subconsciously we all realize that. I mean, the African Americans in this country faced social injustice in every turn of the fucking door, just like Irish people, especially in the North, and then Catholic people in Scotland. So I think it stems from the same, like you said, you know, feeling revolutionary. You know, I'm getting fucked with, you know what I mean? And I'm going to fucking state my fucking message here. And I think, yeah, it definitely comes from the same place.
Yeah, no question. Now, you're in the process of writing a book as well that I absolutely cannot wait. You know, that it'll be available soon. Tell us about it, when it's going to be released, and what the readers can expect. Is there plans for maybe like a screenplay for it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. For the first thing that's got to happen now, it's got to be edited by a professional editor, which we're doing, and I'm sure it'll be ready by May or June. We might not even go to print because we're talking to people from a well-known film company about just going right to screenplay. So we're going to submit a chapter and see how that works out. I'm going to be working on that all next week. But the book is basically more or less a biography, but it's also a period piece about the Fulton Fish Market. I don't know if you're familiar with the Fulton Fish Market, but it's the wholesale fish market in New York that was under mob control, you know, basically since it was set up in the 30s by Lucky Luciano and them. And I basically got kicked out of high school and wound up working there. So it was. They always say that the Fulton Fish Market was a university for wise guys. I wanted my fucking doctorate. So it's about the kind of stuff that you would expect from a guy named Rocky fucking Bats. That's all I gotta say. And it's gonna blow you away. It's gonna be better than Goodfellas.
Fantastic. Well, you know, obviously growing up, Henry Hill, you know, speaking of Goodfellas, I mean, he's from Brooklyn. I think he grew up in Brownsville, though, didn't he? He was, you know, around the corner from Bensonhurst, but you know, that was. What would you do? I mean, if you saw Henry Hill, obviously he's passed on, but you know, I mean, he's a rat. You know, I mean, he's just, you know, persona non grata. You know, you see somebody like that. I mean, you know, it's desgraciado. You know, as well. Are you going to get into like the you know, I mean, just the gritty, you know, the details of, you know, what was taking place and who was there and what was going on? I mean, obviously, you know, you have to have a certain level of insulation or plausible deniability, but you know, how detailed are you going to get with this?
All the names were changed already. Once we wrote the book, we went back and changed the name, all but mine. And let me just say straight out, I am not a wise guy. I don't belong to anything like that. But foolishly, when I was a young man, that's what I wanted to be. You know what I mean? I wasted. This is basically me fucking venting about wasting 10 years of my fucking life. And that's why originally the book or the script was called Chasing the Button, because I wanted to get my fucking button. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that all you do is hurt people, and that there's so many people out there like Henry Hill and Mikey Scars and all these other people that want to be a fucking criminal, and they do everything like a criminal, but once they get caught, they decide to flip on the other guy. You see, I made the decision to stop being a criminal. I'll never have to go through that. So the difference in my book and that cocksucker Hills is that I don't have to live the rest of my life like a schnook, you know, and I'm definitely not going to be eating egg noodles and ketchup anytime fucking soon.
Well, you know, exactly. And I think, you know, you hit the nail on the head there. We're talking about Henry Hill, you know, and he I'm sure in the run-up to him getting pinched, you know, it was all about honor for him and upholding the honor, even though he wasn't made. And, you know, it was about, you know, something bigger and, you know, the oath. And when it came down to it, there was no honor, you know, and what you're describing here is a different path, a path where you can sustain the honor, you know, not always have to look over your shoulder or you know, whatever the case is. But, you know, what I'm really looking forward to also, you know, with so many of these, you know, these mafia pieces, you know, like Goodfellas and you know, Henry Hill's story and how they sort of cleansed it, I guess, if you will, or you know, Hollywood-ized it, I guess, you know, is the only term I can come up with right now. And even with, you know, with some of the other the films with Godfather, I think it's the cultural identity of the film that is so encapsulating, it's so appealing. You know, the lines that are delivered and the characters that are, you know, like Jimmy Two Times, you know, it's I'm gonna go get the papers. I mean, it's stuff like that. You know, the sort of colloquialisms that you experience every day and the characters, you know, that you come around with. Not so much, you know, this one got whacked or that one got whacked. It's more about, you know, the cultural identity and the humor that comes about from it. I mean, I think it's very unique. That's really what I'm looking for. And I think, you know, the essence of what you're going to be doing is going to be so appealing.
Yeah, that's another great analogy. If you look at the movie Casino, there was so many people in that were actually, you know, and that's why the movie worked. Because when you're one of those guys, you have the time to just sit around on the corner all fucking day, you know, between taking scores and joke around. Right. You know what I mean? So you got to be. That's where I hung out when I was a kid, on the fucking corner with the fucking wise guys, and you know, trying to be like them, and you fucking joke around. You give a good fucking nickname. But the things you take seriously, you take very fucking seriously.
Right, exactly. Now, with this, you had to work with a ghostwriter. You know, you sang his praises, you know, throughout the effort. What's it like working with a ghostwriter? Just somebody, you know, sort of helping you out, and I mean, they really need to get to know you and what you're all about, don't they? I mean, is that kind of an odd experience? I mean, you really need to trust somebody, don't you?
Without a doubt, yeah. You know, most of if we speak on subjects or even a chapter that's going to go in the book for 6 hours, you know, maybe 15 minutes of that is actually for the book. Otherwise, it's so that he knows me, or he knows my good buddy, my fucking business partner of 2.5 cents on every nickel, how he fucking thinks. So the guy's got to get to know you intimately. The kid that's my ghostwriter, very talented kid. He has formal education in writing. He works for me, and his father was my mentor for a long fucking time. So yeah, it was really an interesting experience. You know what I mean? It was great for him. I paid him for a couple of fucking months to come out to Thailand and you know, drink in the bar and listen to my stories that cracked him up.
Nothing wrong with that. not bad work if you can get it, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Now, so what's the timeline that we're working on with this? I mean, when can we expect something to come? I mean, obviously, you know, there's a couple different directions that this could go. You know, you're waiting to hear back in terms of the screenplay happening. I mean, what sort of time frame can we expect, you know, to look forward to and you know, when that's coming out? And you know, what else are you involved with, you know, that we can consume?
You know, keep an eye on iTunes for that Celtic hip hop song and other works that I'm going to put out. As far as the book, like I said, June, I hope to be cashing my fucking check by the summer. And depends if it's going to be a film, you know, that could take a fucking year or over to make. Book would go right to print right away. I'm gonna try to hash as much of that shit out as I can in the next 2 weeks before I gotta go back to fucking Motown, and then and I will definitely keep you guys, everybody, updated. You can also check for updates on the Ghostwriter made a Facebook page, Chasing the Button Facebook. So we put updates over there. I think if we go to print, which I'm not ruling out, by the summertime you could be reading it.
Fantastic stuff. So go to Facebook and then just type in Chasing the Button.
Yep, that's it.
Good stuff. Yeah, and if you can send over a tweet, I'll retweet that, get it out there for everybody to see and check out, and just stay updated with, because we definitely want to know when that's dropping, and so we can see it and read it or however that's going to come down, and then especially with the iTunes, go to iTunes. On the iTunes store, type in Rocky Bats. It's right there. You can download right now. Thank God I'm a Brooklyn Boy, which we played today, as well as Rocky's, the other songs in the catalog. So get on iTunes, download them, check them out. Rocky, it's been great having you on. I really appreciate it. You giving us so much of your time, and hopefully, we can have you back in a few months and get, an update as it gets closer to, to the book coming out, or everything gets settled with that. And one last question. I mean, what's next? What's next for you? I mean, you got the book done, the screenplay, or, it may go that direction. You're going to continue on with the music career. I mean, maybe, do a little producing, directing, more writing. What's on the horizon for Rocky Bats?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to get into the publishing with the music business. I'm going to start making some videos. I really want to redo Paisanics as a video, but studio cut, not just in my fucking home ragtag studio, but something really, really good for the fans. You know what I mean? So I'm going to continue with just the whole creative flow, bro, and music, tweets, the book, anything. We have plans for another book detailing my 9 knockouts called 9 Rounds with Rocky B. It hasn't been written yet, but it's definitely in the prenatal stage there.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it, pal. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was really, I enjoyed it. It was an honor, and hopefully we can have you back, like I said, in a couple months and just check in with you. And all the best. Everybody, Rocky Bats, hopefully you enjoyed it. Check him out on Twitter at Rocky Bats. That's BATTS on Twitter, and like we just mentioned, Chasing the Button. Search that on Facebook and keep up to date with what Rocky's up to. And we certainly enjoyed it, pal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Graham. Could I just give a shout out to my sister who's in Catania, Sicily, and let me stay in the house right now? Thank you so much. I love you. And shout out to the short strand nationalists that are under attack by those vile fucking scumbags. Come on, the hoops. I love you, Graham. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rock. There you go. All right.
Ciao.
Thanks a million. So Rocky Bats joins us. Man, what a treat that was. Just excellent to get a sense for what makes him tick. I mean, obviously, we follow him and we follow him on Twitter. And it's always just hugely entertaining, and we've seen the YouTube clips and the poetry, and we know he gets it. It's been, some folks have gotten in touch and said, oh, we know you get it. Rocky gets it. He's one of us, to use sort of a New York colloquialism that can be identified there. But what a treat that was, and hopefully we'll have him back soon. And like I said earlier, we'll be coming back next week. Celtic is going to be returning. Hopefully, I'm going nuts here without any Celtic games. It hurts me. I don't know. I'm walking around looking at the wall, just staring at the ceiling. But looking forward to them getting back. I mean, obviously, we talked about the Magners deal, and that's fantastic. It's fantastic for the club. Obviously, the more financial resources the club can get, the better. So, all the best with that. I'm not going to partake in any Magners. I have my own reasons. I went through it ad nauseum in the beginning of the show. So if you missed it and you want to listen back, it's all there for you. Not just the speculation that's thrown out there on Twitter by people who think they know everything. I was there and I dealt with it directly, personally. So that's my stance. Juan Agudelo rumors are heating up. 90 Minute Cynic has been all over the transfer rumors in terms of who we are in for. Definitely check them out, 90minutecynic.com. They have videos, they have fantastic analysis. I know Tic-Tactic, one of my favorite websites, tictactic.co.uk, usually doing the tactical analysis for Celtic. They nailed it with Rami Gershon, who he doesn't look anything like Gina Gershon. His chest is a bit smaller, but he's got one of those Jedward haircuts. I don't know. I mean, I can't make heads or tails of it. The analogy's been made comparing him to a Gary Caldwell with a bit more pace on the left-hand side. It's a loan deal with the option to buy, which I think is always prudent. We get a chance to sort of sample the wares, if you will, check him out, kick the tires a little bit, and see if he's going to work in our system. And if not, we can send him on his way. I mean, obviously, some of the background, he hasn't slotted in for Standard Liège, and I think at this point, we can consider ourselves a notch or two above a Standard Liège. I mean, we're in the knockout stages of the Champions League. And once again, I'm going to be coming over for that. I absolutely cannot wait. I'm jumping out of my skin. The Green and White writer, Paul Larkin, is just kind enough to take me in that week, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people as well, who have been supportive of us over the past coming on 2 years, that we've been doing this. And it's my first trip to Scotland. Actually, I wanted to ask Rocky when he was going to be getting to Scotland, but we'll save that for the next time, I guess. But I absolutely cannot wait to get over. I don't even know what to expect. But whatever it is, it's going to be absolute magic. Another player that we're in for is the Australian lad Tam Rokic, I guess, or I can never pronounce the sort of Eastern European names, but he plays for Central Coast Mariners in the G'day League. Apparently, by all accounts, he's 20 years old, and by all accounts, he is a star in the making. Looks a bit like a left-footed Key, but with good points being brought in on Twitter, he's a bit more aggressive than Key. Looks like he can hold his own a bit more solid. So definitely exciting. He's going to be training with the side who are down in Spain right now, trying to keep themselves fit. Have a bounce game, a friendly, if you will, with Steaua Bucharest on Tuesday. I believe it's on ESPN over in the UK and Ireland. I don't know what sort of exposure we're going to get over here, if it's going to be on Channel 67 or Celtic TV or whatever they're calling it at this point. But looking forward to seeing some highlights from that. Hopefully we can get some of the young players some game time. I mean, Dylan McGeoch, I think, really needs to get out there and get some time. If we're going to continue on with a sort of a consummation of a 4-4-2, we need some speed there. We need a speedster that is good with the ball at their feet so that we can stretch an opposing defense, which I think is really been lacking. When we've gotten in trouble, it's gotten a bit stale. We have a lot of possession, but we can't break down a sort of stolid back eight, if you will, just sort of packing the box with everybody back there. The only antidote to that is hitting teams on the break, and without pace, we're just not effective enough with that, and that leads us to only rely on set pieces. That's a bit one-dimensional. It's a bit tough, and we've seen some difficulty as a result of that. So hopefully, we can bring in a player who, would facilitate. I don't even know if I want to call it that number 10 because it's so cliched, but somebody with a bit more pace that can slot in when James Forrest is not going to be fit. And, hopefully we can get Jamesy back because he's such an important player. I mean, we don't really, I think, appreciate him until he's gone. Yes, he goes down quite easy, but his benefits to the side really cannot be questioned. And so hopefully he can get himself fit, and hopefully we can get some more time for Dylan McGeoch. I think we have a star in the making there. That we don't even need to bring in. We just need to give him more time than, substitute on the 87th minute. So, we'll get all that worked out. But anyway, I want to thank the Rev for coming on, talking about his article this past week. Like I said, you can find it on iceltic.net, the great, fantastic website put on by the great Seamus Cummins. And Rocky Bats as well. Fantastic interview. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to listening back. You can find him on iTunes. Just type in Rocky Bats. He's got a full catalog of tunes you can listen to, and follow him on Twitter so you can get the latest updates in terms of his philanthropic work, how you can get involved and contribute. Right now he's looking for eyeglasses and other resources to help the folks down in Thailand, and just couldn't be prouder to have him as a friend of the show. And keep an eye out also for his forthcoming book, or perhaps even screenplay. Who knows? Fingers crossed. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening in. Thanks so much for all of your support, and we look forward to talking to you next week after Celtic returns with 3 points, hopefully. But great time. So be safe, and we'll join you again shortly. Taking us out as always, Shane McGowan and the Pokes. Hail, hail, and keep the faith. We'll speak to you soon.
The island, it is silent now, but the ghosts still haunt the waves. And a torch lights up a famished man who fortune could not save. Did you work upon the railroads? Did you ride the streets of crime? Were your dollars from the White House? Were they from the 5 and dime? Did the old songs start to cheer you, and did they still make you cry? Did you count the months and years, or did your teardrops quickly dry? I know it was not to be on a coffin ship. I came here and I never even got so far that they could change my name. Thousands are sailing across the western ocean to a land of opportunity that some of them will never see. Fortune prevailing across the western ocean, their bellies full, their spirits free. They'll break the chains of poverty and they'll dance. In Manhattan's desert twilight, in the dead of afternoon, we stepped hand in hand on Broadway, like the first men on the moon. And a blackbird broke the silence as you whistled, it's so sweet. And in Brendan Behan's footsteps, I danced up and down the street. And we said goodnight to Broadway, giving it our best regards. Took our hats to Mr. Cohen, dear old Times Square's favorite bird. Then we raised a glass to JFK,